In this video, I'm going to cover how to optimize your campaigns whilst taking into consideration Amazon's attribution window, and how often you should be in your campaigns, when you should manage your campaigns, and what you should be doing, and how we've done this over the years. I'm George, I'm the founder of Clear Ads, and we're an ad agency that's been going since 2011. I'm sure you'll find this useful, so let's go straight into it. So, the one thing to understand about Amazon's attribution window is there's 7 days with sponsored ads. So from the moment a click is made for a paid ad, right, a sale could be attributed to that click 7 days after that initial click has been made. So to give you kind of a visual idea of what I mean, if if we go into Amazon and we search bookshelf, right? Now, if I clicked on one of these sponsored ads, but which I won't, so I just clicked on this bookshelf here, which I like the look of, and this is what will tend to happen with Amazon sellers is, with those who want to buy is they'll look at the product and they might not necessarily buy. So they might still be interested, but not at that moment. So they might then get distracted, leave Amazon. They might have been looking at it on their mobile phones, and then later on down the line, they might search bookshelf again. They might come through the brand name. There's going to be a whole range of ways they can come through, and they might now find the product organically, click on it, and then end up making a purchase. There may also be instances. There may also be instances where actually they actually go and add the product to cart, and then later on when they're buying something else, it's in the cart. They're already interested and they follow through and make the purchase. So what does this mean? Well, this means some campaigns that might look like they're not performing well, you have to give them time. You have to give them time. So it could what you'll find is the more you spend through Amazon ads, the more traffic you get um, to your products through paid ads, the more of a delay you'll see and in those sales coming in, and the differences in the numbers that you'll see too. So you want to give your campaigns the best opportunity possible, and that's why you don't want to be ruthless and be cutting back on your campaigns on a daily basis. So you really want to spend some time, because some of those keywords or targeting methods that you have in place, which get a lot of traffic, might not necessarily bring in the sales straight away, but over time they're likely to generate you that good return that you need. So you might be doing yourself a disfavor if you're going in daily and chopping campaigns off, like chopping them off and shutting them down, and then eventually you'll find overall sales are just going down. So this is a really important part of the buying cycle you need to follow. And actually, with Amazon, when you look outside of sponsored ads, there's actually a higher look back window when it comes to attribution. So it can go up to 14 days, especially like for vendor accounts, it's for 14 days. So there's actually a kind of a wider net that you should be looking at before you start optimizing your campaigns. So that's something else to bear in mind too. And Amazon made this really, really clear within their kind of help section of their website. So I guess the next big question is, okay, what if someone clicks on the ad more than once, right? They click on the sponsored ad more than once. Which is the ad that's going to get the attribution in sales? So at this moment, it's the last click. So it's the last ad that's being clicked. So let's take an example of someone who's looking for that bookshelf. They've initially made the search. I'm just painting you a picture here. They were on the train ready to go home. They made the search, they found the bookshelf, it looks good, they're just having a quick look, and then they decide, they get distracted, I don't know, they get on the train, get home, get on a laptop, then they go, oh right, the bookshelf I was looking at, maybe just do a bit more research, and then they want that final input from their other half or that friend. So then they leave it for a few days, and then they come back and they click on another sponsored ad, and then they actually then decide, okay, we're going to buy this bookshelf. So it could be the third attempt. Now it's going to be that third ad that gets the attribution. So the first and the second through the ad console, they're going to look like they've got no conversions, but actually they've played a significant part, especially at the beginning, introducing that potential customer to your product. So I won't go into much detail here, but this is where Amazon's attribution window, Amazon Marketing Cloud really helps because it can give you that process and show you in detail the steps a customer's taking before they made a purchase. There's also data you can now get as well on average. How long does it take before someone buys your product? And this varies from product to product. What we tend to find is those items that cost more or that have a lot more specs to them, they tend to see customers make a purchase not on the first attempt, so not on the first kind of click and view. So that's why it's really important to factor in attribution when you're doing any changes to your listing. So, okay, how often to optimize? So on an account level, once a week. You don't really want to be going in and making changes more than once a week because you need the time for the changes to settle in. You know, if you're gonna cut back on your budgets by 20-30%, you don't want to instantly just kind of then go back in the next day, change your mind and increase them again because you haven't given the account enough time to really figure out what the total sales are. So panic changes are not helpful. When you're testing, you just need to really think about the tests that you're doing and just really follow through and really give it that opportunity. And then in terms of reviewing, on an account level, it should be done twice a week. Start of the week, end of the week, account should be reviewed. Okay, what do the overall metrics look like? Now, the only times you should optimize more often than this, well, one of the main times you should optimize more often than this is if you're starting to see an influx of sales come through certain types of targeting. So it doesn't really matter about an attribution window. If there's a lot of sales coming in for a particular type of keyword and it's relevant and the conversion rate is strong, that the whatever metric you're looking at, so conversion rate or profitability, ACOS, whatever it is, if it's strong and there's potential to increase it, increase it. Especially with those campaigns that have budget limitations. So it wants more. It's ticking the boxes of what and achieving what you want it to achieve. Give it more, right? And there's going to be certain times of the year, certain hours of the day where there may be sudden spikes, and this at times can be seasonal and anticipated, and in other occasions it can come out of nowhere. I mean, there was one example of an eyelash serum company we were working with where all of a sudden overnight sales just rapidly went through the roof. And when we spoke to the client, Amazon basically banned a large proportion of their competitors because of an ingredient they had in their eyelash serum. They weren't banned because they were adhering to the policies that were out there, and they were updated, and so they were able to ride that wave. Now, when we saw that influx in sales through ads was improving and increased, so we wanted to really take advantage. So we opened the floodgates. We allowed there to be more traffic through to really hold our position and actually achieve the bestseller badge. And then it's harder to take us down. So that's kind of one main example. Another example of when to optimize more often is if you started to create new campaigns. If you're launching new products, you want to keep an eye on, okay, how many impressions are you getting? How many clicks are you getting? Is it working? If you're testing something where there's a chance you might spend quite a lot of money. So if you're spending a few $100s a day for a certain campaign and it's fresh, you're not going to have historical data to benchmark the performance. So you want to be keeping an eye on it more often. If you started to put in more outside traffic efforts more traffic from outside of Amazon and into Amazon, you might also want to just review the performance of your campaigns. So there's a number of occasions of when you should look at your campaigns more than once or twice a week and make changes a little bit more often. So in terms of time frames to look at, so you want to look back 30 days, especially when you're looking to cut back and trim down any parts of your campaigns. It's a good time frame to look at. Always try and exclude the last 48 hours because you want to allow the data to come in. And this is even more important for, like, when you're spending more on Amazon. So if you start to spend a considerable amount on Amazon, you do really want to make sure you have allowed there to be a 48 hour gap. So best practice is look at the week before on the Monday, cut off Friday, Saturday at the latest. Review the weekend, but don't be doing anything drastic from that 1 month, from that weekend. But yeah, that's it from this video. If you would like us to audit your account and take a look at what you have going, free of charge, and give you some of our insights, we look at hundreds of accounts a year. So if you want us to look at yours, just either scan the QR code to the right or click on the link below, and we'd be more than happy to get on a call and explain to you. Get on a call, get access to your account, and then give you our feedback. We also have a community on School, and this is made up of some of our biggest clients as well as thought leaders in the Amazon ecosystem. And in that group, you can ask questions. Someone there will be able to answer, and it can be related to Amazon ads, or it could be anything outside of Amazon ads too, and just Amazon in general. We also have content on there that we haven't publicly put out, so have access to that. So feel free to scan the QR code above or click on the link below to join our School community. Hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.